What's the hardest part of traveling? Is it the early mornings, the long flights, the language barriers, or finding your way around somewhere you've never been before? Most people think the hardest part is getting there. I don't think it is. I think the hardest part is coming home. When you're traveling, everything feels possible. You see new places, you meet new people, you experience different cultures. For a little while, life slows down just enough for you to think, away from the routine, away from the noise, away from the distractions that usually fill every day. And that's where something interesting happens. You begin asking yourself questions you've been too busy to ask. Maybe you've stood on a bridge overlooking the Danube. Maybe you've walked streets that are older than your own country. Maybe you've sat quietly with a coffee watching strangers live lives completely different from yours. In moments like that, perspective changes. Your problems don't always disappear, but they often become smaller, and your dreams suddenly feel a little bigger. Travel has a strange way of reminding how much of the world you've never seen. But more importantly, it reminds you how much of yourself you've never discovered. Not because a city changes who you are, but because it gives you the space to hear your own thoughts again. Sometimes that's all we really need: a pause, a breath, a reminder that life is bigger than our daily routine. But then the holiday ends, the suitcase gets unpacked, the alarm clock goes off, Monday morning arrives, and suddenly you're back in the same life you left behind. That's the moment that really matters, because inspiration is easy when you're standing in a beautiful city. Transformation is much harder when you're standing in your own kitchen before work. I've realized that traveling doesn't give you a new life, it gives you a new perspective on the life you already have. The places are incredible, the memories are priceless, but eventually every journey leads home. And when it does, you have a choice. You can slip back into the same habits that kept you stuck, or you can become the person you promised yourself you'd be while you were away. That's the promise so many of us make. We'll start when we get home. We'll finally go to the gym. We'll start the business. We'll make the phone call. We'll stop waiting. The question is, how many of those promises actually survive the flight home? Budapest has given me memories I'll never forget. Beautiful architecture, incredible history, a city full of character. But the greatest thing it gave me wasn't another stamp in my passport. It was a reminder. Life doesn't change because you visited somewhere beautiful. Life changes because you decided to carry the lessons home with you. So what's the hardest part of traveling? It isn't leaving. It isn't the journey. It isn't coming home. The hardest part is becoming the person you said you were going to become once you got there. Because every trip eventually ends, but the person you chose to become afterwards, that's the journey that really matters. Thank you for joining me throughout this Budapest series. If these reflections have made you think differently about travel, life, or your own journey, I'd love for you to subscribe to Unleash Your Storm. And I'd love to know in the comments, what's one promise you've made to yourself that it's finally time to keep?